Today in this episode, we're going to be talking about why high protein diets are the key to ending binge eating. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm a dietitian that supports people who are struggling with binge eating. And the thing about protein is you see protein literally everywhere. There's probably a protein version of literally everything. Protein pancakes, protein yogurts, protein cereal, protein bread, protein flour. Literally everywhere is full of protein. But why am I so focused on protein? Well, in this episode, let's find out why. And I want you to think about another thing. Do you know someone who's struggling with their relationship with food? They're a high body weight and they're really struggling with weight loss, yet they follow a high protein diet? Well, I haven't found any person who has more than 100 grams of protein and they're struggling with their weight loss or they're struggling with binge eating. So in this video, I'll talk about 5 reasons how protein can help you end binge eating and actually reduce binge eating episodes. So the first reason why is because protein actually is very, very filling. So what's more filling, do you think? To have a packet of crisps or let's say a packet of noodles for lunch, pot noodles? Or what's more filling? To simply just have a can of tuna or a large chicken breast. So the difference is you can have like 1 or 2 chicken breasts and you'll be really, really full. But you can have like 1, 2, even 3 pot noodles and you probably might not be full. And I'm not talking about satisfaction at the moment, but if you remove satisfaction, like let's say the chicken breast, you had to eat it and it's life or death. Never mind about satisfaction, never mind about if you'll enjoy it or not. What will keep you full for longer? Well, it's actually the chicken breast or the tuna or the egg whites or the Greek yogurt. So the reason why it actually keeps you full is because your body actually takes its time to actually break down the protein connections, the protein bonds into amino acids. So amino acids are the building blocks of what create something which is high in protein or create proteins. And you might have heard that amino acids are also the building blocks of your muscle. So to break them all down into amino acids, nitrogen, all those kinds of things, it's difficult to break down. And so what people call this in science is it actually delays gastric emptying. So it keeps you full and slows things down, slows down the movement of your gut. And things that will slow down your gastric emptying is the key to actually keeping you full. So protein is filling, slows down gastric emptying, and keeps you full. So there is a very simple study conducted by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that separated participants into 2 groups. One group which is high protein diet, which was defined by more than 30 grams of protein per meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And a group which is not low in protein, but just average amount of protein. So average amount of protein would be like 15 grams per meal. So the group which had 30 grams of protein per meal, or more than 30 grams of protein, shall I say, actually stayed full and they actually consumed less calories and they actually lost weight effortlessly. So before I move on to reason number 2, I just want to quickly introduce my binge busting cookbook. So the binge busting cookbook is actually, coincidentally, recipes which are very, very simple, which can reduce binge eating episodes, but they're also very high in protein. So there are some recipes which are literally just 2 ingredients, some recipes which are 4 ingredients. With binge eating recovery, you're already overwhelmed with so many things. Let's just make it as simple as possible. Simple high protein recipes which are delicious, filling, and actually quite nutritious and extremely simple. 2 to 4 ingredients, probably there's some that has a few more ingredients, but there's breakfast recipes, lunch recipes, dessert recipes, smoothie recipes, and many more. So check that in the link in the description. So reason number 2, how protein can actually reduce binge eating episodes is actually it can stabilize blood sugars. What we're trying to avoid with blood sugars is a quick rise in blood sugars or a quick drop in blood sugars. We need to keep them in a stable baseline middle ground, not too high, not too low. So protein can actually stabilize your blood sugars. But if you have a donut with something that's high in protein, let's say like paired with a side of a Greek yogurt, for example, which is high in protein, then it's gonna not make it as high. It's gonna be a little bit high, but it's going to not be as high because the protein actually dampens down the blood sugar response. Things which can dampen down the quick rise in blood sugar response are fiber, fats, and protein, with fiber and protein being the 2 main things which can actually dampen down your blood sugar response. As dietitians, we don't say cut out all sugars, cut out all carbohydrates, bread, donuts, cakes, and crackers, all those kinds of things. What we recommend is reduce your carbohydrates if you want to stabilize your blood sugars, but more importantly, pair them with protein. Make your meals paired with protein, fats, carbs, and fiber to make a balanced meal. Don't eat carbohydrates on their own. So to reduce binge eating episodes, make sure you eat protein to stabilize your blood sugars. So now moving on to reason number 3 is protein. Actually, this is quite a subjective thing. It's not not heavily evidence-based, but personally for me, if I have a high protein diet, then protein can actually give me a sense of accomplishment. It gives me a sense of, okay, I'm actually getting towards my goals. I'm actually eating with intention. Like every time I go to the gym, then I know that I've eaten a high protein diet and I feel much more motivated. If I'm basically eating a low protein diet and I'm having frequently cakes, I'm frequently binge eating, I'm frequently eating crisps every time I walk to the gym, I'm not that excited to go to the gym because I'm thinking, well, my body's not filled with protein, so what's the point of exercising? Probably it's just a personal thing, it's quite a mental thing, but every time I eat a high protein diet, I know I have lots of protein in me. I'm in a positive nitrogen balance for those dietitians and chemists out there who are watching this video. I know my body is very primed to gain muscle, so I'm more motivated to go to the gym with intention because I'm full of protein. So that's reason number 3. If you eat a high protein diet, you're more motivated to change your identity to someone who really loves going to the gym or just eating healthily, building these habits, building these foundations. Reason number 4, how protein can actually reduce binge eating episodes and keep you full for longer, is that it can actually support muscle mass and actually improve your metabolism. So the same thing with what I was talking about earlier is that if you go to the gym and you're building muscle, then your body is going to be much more metabolically active. Actually, let's make this much simple. If I even had like 1 kilogram of muscle around me, then my metabolic rate will be much higher. So it'll take much more for me to gain weight. I'll have to eat many more calories to gain weight. So that's why you see bodybuilders who are quite massive, they maintain their muscle mass on 3,000 calories. So even they're eating 3,000 calories, it's not that much calories for them. They would maintain their whole body weight. They'll maintain their body mass. But for me, if I was to eat 3,000 calories, then I would gain weight. So having a bigger frame full of muscles, which is metabolically active tissue, will actually reduce binge eating cravings and reduce weight gain long term. Things I would highly recommend are compound exercises, bench press, deadlifts, squats. Remember, don't skip leg day because your legs are the biggest muscle group. And if you want to really improve your metabolic rate, don't skip legs. Build your biggest muscle group. Get those squats in. So now moving on to reason number 5 is it actually can help re-regulate your hunger cues. So your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin. So ghrelin is a hunger hormone. It makes you hungry when ghrelin is high. And then leptin is the fullness hormone. So when leptin is high or upregulated, shall I say, then you'll feel full. So having a diet which is high in protein can actually stimulate high leptin or upregulate leptin, keep you full for longer. There are many reasons, there are many mechanisms how protein can actually keep you full and actually satisfied. So what I highly recommend is at least a minimum of a fist-sized portion of protein in all of your meals. So if you're gonna have a meal which is, let's say, rice and broccoli, then probably have a fist-size minimum, not maximum, a minimum of chicken breast, of mackerel, of tuna, any kind of protein. So if you can go to a higher amount of protein, then even better. If you can have 40 grams of protein, but don't go overboard because you're gonna skip meals, and we need to have regular meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner with snacks in between. Try to make sure each meal contains at least 30 grams of protein. So let's make this into a high protein day. So let's say you have 3 eggs, and then you can make that into scrambled eggs. Then you could have turkey bacon, probably like 2 pieces of turkey bacon, and then some toast, and then maybe on a side to have a little pot of Greek yogurt. That's easily 30 grams of protein, easily, or even 40 grams if you want to have bigger portions. So moving on to lunch, you can have a little bit of white rice with some broccoli, and then you can have garlic teriyaki chicken. That's quite delicious, and that's made out of chicken breast, so you can easily get 30 grams of protein there, 30 to even 40 grams of protein. And then for dinner, you can easily have a high protein dinner, which is simply spaghetti bolognese paired with beef mince. Ideally, if you can have lean beef mince, because that'll keep you full, get more protein in such a small amount of your plate. And then that's easily 100 grams of protein in the day. And if you really want to optimize it, then before bed, if you want to optimize muscle function and keeping you full, you can have a whey protein shake made with milk. That's easily 30 grams of protein or 40 grams of protein, depending on the type of milk, the type of whey protein. Easily 130, 140 grams of protein in a day. You're going to be full and you're less likely to have snacks, whether you do want to have those chocolates, crisps. You won't be tempted to overindulge on the chocolates and crisps because you're going to be full and you get that sense of feeling of, I'm so excited to go to the gym to build muscle. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you really want to find out high protein recipes which are really simple, 2 to 4 ingredients per meal, and desserts and smoothie recipes, then check the Binge Busting Cookbook in the link in the description. And if you really enjoyed this video, and I highly recommend that you check this video out on, it's really important, on how to stop binge eating if you're feeling depressed. I recently published that video. It's really important, and just check it out, and I'll see you over there. Thanks so much for watching this video.